status update mid-year 2024, aka mid-late June 2024. So it's late June, and I thought I would do some kind of mid-year overview rather than just an incremental update, even though it's going to have like the incremental update part. And I'm going to answer the questions that I set in the previous status updates. But yeah, I watched all of the status updates from this year, so late January, end of February 2024, early May 2024, and I scrolled through my channel and I remembered that I had made this kind of New Year's resolution of making money online, which I have not accomplished yet. So, well, I have accomplished somewhat, but not to a significant degree. And yeah, I have some reflections on this. So, comparing to the first part of the year, the first status update, so comparing to right at the beginning of the year, I was kind of more cheery or something like this and kind of excited because new year, new beginnings, blah, blah, blah. And my friend was back. So yeah, that made me think of like comparing myself to others, right? Because this friend that came in January came back. He's here right now. I saw him yesterday, right? So I was like, okay, in the time that he's been outside Spain working, blah, 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 what have I done? What have I accomplished? What have I failed at? And what has happened in the time between his comings? And honestly, the first answer that comes to my mind is like nothing, but it's false, right? That's why I had this failed at, accomplished, etc. And I would say that I have been rejected, aka slash ghosted on like 10 or 20, 10, 15 jobs, something like this, that I have applied in several degrees. Some just click application, 2 or 3. Some send a resume, 1, 2 or 3. And the rest making a detailed video application. Most of the video applications have been ghosts. Some of the sends have been ghosts, but the sending resumes, I actually got like a callback and an interview. And yeah, from cold emails plus YouTube comments and videos and all this, I got a couple of, a gig, another gig, and an interview. And ghosting. So I have actually attempted things and I have been ghosted, aka failed at those. I have uploaded several videos, probably like 30 or something like that. We can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've uploaded 50 videos in 2024, apparently. And of those 50 videos, around 1 or 2 have been edited videos. I have edited my history with phones video. I have edited my food in a week video. And the rest are more or less off the cuff with different degrees of effort. I'd say I've watched more movies than average. I've watched 7 Impossible movies, 7 Mission Impossible, Up in the Air, comedy special, some Studio Ghibli, some random movies, Elizabeth Debicki, Matrix, Batman Begins, Iron Man, iRobot, Dark Knight, Kung Fu Panda and 2, some Almodóvar, Past Lives, Punch Drunk Love and those style of movies, John Wick, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Blue Valentine, and I have a couple that I have not put in the thread yet. More Studio Ghibli movies like Kiki Delivery Service, the one with the fucking Spirited Away, some Richard Linklater movies, including one in the cinema. I've watched another movie with my mom in the cinema as well. And yeah, regarding more like media consumption, you could say books. I have not read a lot. I think I have not finished a single real book. I have finished a couple of, you could say, visual novels or something like this. One based on the movie that I watched with my mom in the cinema called La Casa. Another one called Fair Weather from my dad. And yeah, something else that I have been doing, I guess, is playing games. And this is especially recently. This is more moving on from the things that had happened. Actually, let's go back. Let's go back to here. So those are some of the things that I have done, accomplished, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I could probably write tweets or something like this in the middle or something. But yeah, I've watched also some stuff on YouTube. Mainly, the main things that come to mind are traveling videos from Mateo and Lisana, a series by this guy called Ramilla de Ventura. Those are the main things that come to mind, but some others also. Then I have still not been walking a lot, even if the weather has now turned nice compared to when I was watching these videos, for example, in January and all this. I did not really take advantage of the good weather that much. My steps figures are probably super low. I had a project, well, not a project, I had an idea a while ago of like walking from Madrid to Segovia, just walking and sleeping in my house in the middle so as to make it less intense. But I never did it, and I think it's already turning worse because it's going to turn hotter and hotter. So I don't think I will do it in summer, and I will probably do it after. But I don't know. We will see if I ever do it. I had also an idea of contacting a certain YouTuber that I like who is from Segovia to see if we can arrange something or something. I don't know. Maybe I could wait until I make a book and until he makes the book or something. I think he releases his book or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Then continuing status update late February. These are some things that are related to the things that I saw in that February update, which is that I'm way more moody than then. I'm back to pre-January levels of moody levels. So I made this chart. What I said in February was that my mood was rising, and in January it had risen previously from before, and in February it had risen even more. But now I'm not sure. I wrote here that it peaked here in March, but I'm not sure actually. It may have peaked there and then went downhill still. I feel like I'm going constantly downhill. I'm feeling worse and worse each month that passes. So yeah, I could have elevated or put this down. I never feel like even at my highest I was that happy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm retroactively feeling in things. But yeah, I in that same video I say that I worry about money as well. So I have been worrying about the same things for a long time. So I don't think I was actually feeling that well ever. But yeah. And then yeah, some things aside from comparing myself to other times, like some things that are more current, are, for example, that I have been playing games lately. So this Denison game is some kind of life simulator game, which I think is interesting to highlight because the thing that made me want to buy it is that it's a simple game about like life, right? It's a life simulator, and I thought it was interesting, right? You have to get a job, buy groceries, and that kind of thing. So in that sense, I feel like even those kind of games are kind of inspiring, right? Then Driver San Francisco. I feel like I could make a video just about the Driver San Francisco and my take on it, and it's in the plans. Not sure if in the works, but in the plans it is. And it's about kind of like how it's a game that really satisfies my taste for cars, right? How I see cars. This basically game with a lot of variety of cars where you can like where the game mechanics really tell you to jump around and drive different cars and crash them quickly and all of this. I think that's something that appeals to me, which is kind of unlike the real world where if you buy a car, you more or less have to commit to it to a certain extent. But yeah. But yeah, it's kind of inspiring me maybe to go to think through that route, because I think my life is a bit paradoxical. Well, my life, not my life, but my way of seeing cars is a bit paradoxical, right? I am interested in many different cars and all of that, but also I have never owned a single car, like bought out of pocket from by me, etc. And thus I have never like bought and sold many cars, which is like what many car enthusiasts do, right? Many car enthusiasts are not like super attached to a single car. Meanwhile, I kind of get attached to things. So yeah, it's kind of contradictory how that impulse of me getting attached to one single thing, one single object, and to all my possessions and wanting to keep them all, right? That impulse also impedes maybe this kind of other side of the enjoyment of like trying new things and all that. Well, being able to try new things by dropping others. And yeah, I will probably buy Rimworld and play it on stream next week. So that is something that I'm setting to. Okay, so now let's go to the questions. How do I feel about my money situation now? Okay, so the first question was, how do you feel about your money situation right now? And I'm feeling pretty bad and disheartened. I feel like I don't feel like I've tried everything, right? But I feel like I've tried to find alignment in things, and I feel like I have failed in making things align. So now I feel like I am back, like I am disheartened about that, and I feel bad about that, and that the way out of that is at least find something, right? Now it's back to desperation or something like this, right? So find something. And yeah, a friend of mine told me that he's looking for people who to go with him to Germany to move boxes or something like this, and I feel like the change of airs and something like that could be interesting. So I'm considering that. We will see how this plays out in the next status update, because I'm not sure if I will do it or not. How do you feel about your job employment situation, daily activities right now? I feel like I've talked about the job employment situation before in the money situation, right? I feel disheartened about that, and I feel bad because I feel like I have not been able to make shit align. Let's say yet, because I have faith that in the future I will make it happen. But yet, at least I have not been able to make it happen, to put the shit together, to put like my love for online stuff and all this, and my whatever, to build like a life that I enjoy. I have not been able to do that. But aside from that, the daily activities, even that I feel less positive than in other months, right? In other months, I have said something like, I actually like what I do, right? I like streaming, I like making videos, I like right? And I feel like I like streaming less and I like making videos less than I did in those times, right? Because now I feel the weight of the job thing and the employment situation and all that more. So I can't fully be present and enjoy these things without thinking all the time about that, right? Without feeling like I am kind of losing time or something like that, right? Plus, I don't feel like like in those moments when I was making some videos, right? I was, for example, making a video about a movie that I watched that moved me. I feel like having that outlet, this channel, to be able to say what I think about these YouTube videos or whatever, or these movies that I have watched, was interesting. And I liked that I had, I don't know, built kind of the habit of doing it. But now I feel like I don't even have that much, like I don't even consume things that I can make videos about, right? I feel like I'm more mindlessly consuming things. or consuming things for like emotional regulation or something like that, instead of, I don't know, bringing that more analytical or being like more awake and alive when being things, right? Or when I am awake and alive, I am disagreeable and cynical, right? So it's not like fully awake and alive, and it's more like right. It's more like reacting in a bad way instead of consuming things with pure joy and with like wonder about the world. I feel like I lack this wonder about the world that I had sometimes, and that I get alternately at some moments. For example, when I was watching a lot of videos about uh, tree harvesters and all that, in those moments I felt way more in the joyful side about that than I feel now, for example. So yeah, in that sense, I feel less positive about that than in other times. Arts pastimes that you'd like to learn or practice. I rewatched my old status updates, so this is kind of the answer that I would have given before watching those, because rewatching those, I still like music, like painting, like all of the things that I mentioned, I still like. But these are the things that have been on my mind more lately. So I think less of pastimes lately, right? And I think more of things that can lead to opportunities, right? So for example, I think of forklift certification. For some reason, I'm kind of fixated on forklifts for some reason. I also thinking of building websites, that kind of thing. Going back to that and building in public, I've been thinking of it. I'm thinking of rewriting. So yeah, rereading notes, rewriting them, rereading ideas, rewriting ideas, that kind of thing. Right? So going with like this Venkatesh Rao Quora post about writing and giving something to it. But yeah, if we're talking about like actual pastimes, I think of dancing lately a lot, and well, not a lot, but sometimes. And I think about getting my motorcycle license also, especially considering the Germany thing, right? If I go to Germany, in Germany you can get the top motorcycle license without needing to have 2 years with the other license. So if I spend more than 6 months in Germany, I could in 6 months get a German driving, like translate my Spanish driving license to a German license, and then at that moment I think like I could sign up to a German Fachschule and get my German motorcycle license, the A motorcycle license, which is pretty fire in my opinion. So I think of that. If I were to go to Germany, I think I would consider that. How do you feel about the environment you live in right now? I feel worse about this than before. I had a somewhat optimistic take on past videos, and that take is right. I said something like, "With my parents is the best that it's ever been. They are pretty chill together, blah blah blah," and all this, right? And I do have friends, etc. But I still don't feel like, I don't know, truly supported in a way or something like this, right? I don't feel I don't know. I don't feel like like when people say that the universe conspires for them or something like this, right? I don't feel like that my universe is conspiring for me or something like that, or that the stars are aligning for me or anything like this, or that the people that I have in my surroundings are helping me become blah blah blah, right? I don't feel like that, and this is especially true when I think of friends, right? I feel like my friends have gone in these paths to lift themselves up or whatever, but that they are not very compatible with bringing people up in a more wider way or something like that. And also some other discrepancies and all this, right? So I don't feel like it's a thriving environment or something like this, right? I don't feel like it's the cooking pot for some interesting brew or something like that. I don't know, whatever the fuck. How do you feel about following your intuition recently? I feel bad about it for the reasons that I have mentioned before. I feel like it has taken me nowhere and that I have to take a step back and listen to reason or the default path or something, right? I feel like whatever I said about the stars aligning, I felt like I could make my own path I align many things on my thing, on my whatever, and blah blah blah. And now I feel like I can't. Right? And now I feel like I have to take a step back and to go to the default path. Back in the back of my mind, there is still always this kind of kernel of I know that this is just the first step. This is the first stepping stone. Blah 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 blah. Right? But yeah, I feel bad about my intuition. So I'm not even sure if that part of the intuition is right. I can't help but have it. But yeah, it's down. What really makes me happy? I don't know. Lately, everything feels bittersweet. Because I was going to say that lately video games make me happy, but I'd be lying because there's like a bittersweet component there, right? There are some games like PUBG where I do feel like engaged and I feel good getting those W's, getting those chicken dinners, right? I feel good, but there is always this kind of underlying sense that I'm not good enough for this to become something that sustains me or whatever, so therefore I can't enjoy it or something like this, right? Or single player games. I play them and I enjoy them and they are cool and they make me think of things sometimes, but then I'm like, but I can't make this like my way of life or whatever, blah blah, right? I can't seem to fit this in a way of life that is sustainable for myself still, right? So I have this undertone of giving up, right? Who really makes me happy? This one I've left blank because the answer would be kind of similar to the same things. It would be kind of same with my friends, but I have said here that in the environment that I live in, even including my friends, is I don't know. There are always like a lot of negatives among like there are a lot of positives, right? But also some negatives, right? And they feel like substantial negatives, right? Not just day-to-day negative stuff like when you are married or something. There are like some day-to-day negativities or like there is some kind of I don't know. What I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say with the marriage thing. But yeah, I don't know who really makes me happy. And yeah, same with the internet strangers thing. That part of Twitter that I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm also this bittersweet or like this disagreeable and cynical on Twitter lately. So even that, even being on Twitter or being online is not. I don't feel truly positive about it. Or even watching videos like internet strangers who make travel videos that are purely happy and that do really make me that I do really enjoy. Even those have an undertone of fuck. I'm in the other side of the screen, right? I am doing the watching. I'm not doing the doing, which is sad for me, right? How is my health? I would say no change. Well, today my head hurts, but aside from that, I guess I'm right. I'm all right, and yeah, I've already said that I have not been walking a lot and all this, but not a lot doesn't mean like zero, and I'm not like bedridden or anything like that, right? I'm still, I don't know, I'm not super active, but I kind of move a little bit and all this. So my health is not degrading at a super fast pace, at least. It's not improving, but it's not super degrading, I would say. And yeah, that has been my status update. Feel free to watch the rest of the videos. I will link this playlist below. Well, not below, like on the left as well. So yeah.